welcome to Life of Leisure Show. I'm your host, Nick Leisure, alongside with my co-host, Anthony B.
Yes.
And CaliBai.
What's up?
We got Demetrius, the specialist in the house.
Okay.
Off camera, the man that keeps us reaching you all, producer Matthew G.
What up, y'all? What up, yo?
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor, Get a Clue, at 1050 20th Street between J and K in downtown Sac. Our special guest today has been making people dance, sing, move, and groove for a long time. And it doesn't seem like he's slowing down anytime soon. Former lead singer of the group Toni, Amar Khalil.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
What up, family? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm great, I can't complain, you know?
Man, I don't call a lot of people family, but I'm going to tell you, man, you've been solid since day one with me.
Hey, that's what's up.
No egos, good energy. I'll show up to the shows. He'd be like, man, get that boy backstage right now.
Man, please somebody
here.
get him a laminate.
Let me get up on stage before he start dancing, and then he don't see nobody. Start dancing. So I know you made some recent changes lately in your path to greatness, but let's talk about the history a little bit before how you became the lead singer of the Tonys and Toni.
Indeed. Well, it all started in the mean streets of East Oakland.
Yeah.
And Raphael and I went to school together, and we see peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at each other's house, all that kind of good stuff. So we were like real close partners. He used to wear my clothes to school.
Got him.
But no, on the real though, it was all good, riding mopeds and going dirt bike riding and all that kind of stuff like that. So
did y'all do music together back then when you was young?
yeah, we did. We had a band way before Toni ever existed. He was the bass player and I was the lead singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the band called?
Oh man, what were we called?
Toni.
No. It started off with Kick Band. It was called Kick Band, and then they moved and had some other players and things, and it was Hot Water and all that kind of stuff like that.
Y'all had the scooters and everything.
Yeah,
you was doing
man.
the big pun videos.
Listen, man, we used to do all the Richmond talent shows. Back in the day, they used to have these talent shows at Richmond Auditorium, and the first time we won, we did Rapper's Delight.
Okay.
And we won $500, and he was on the bass. Cousin Elijah was playing percussions. His cousin E. Baker was playing guitar and everything. So it was a whole family kind of like get down, and I was doing the whole rap, and then we go back and we hit him off with some Michael Jackson and all that kind of stuff like
so
that.
So it's like a cover band type thing.
Yeah, back then, because because we were just learning our get down, our craft.
And how old were you?
Oh, man. So you figure junior high school. My daughter's 12, so
something?
13, 13, 14 years old. Yeah.
Did you guys have all the dance moves and everything, too?
Man, we used to get it. I used to think I was Michael Jackson back in the day.
I think a lot of people did back in the day.
Who was the best dancer in the group, though?
Me.
My bad.
He said me, of course.
Why ask that crazy question?
Yeah, so, it all kind of started from that. And then as we got to high school, we auditioned for our school choir, which was called the Castleers. We went to Castlemont High School. So the Castleers was like this world-renowned choir. And we used to, first of all, you had to audition to get in the school choir.
I thought everybody made the choir.
Nah, you couldn't just.
What?
You couldn't just write that down.
It
You
was
just
like-
couldn't write that down on your elective, or your whatever you want.
It was like you had to audition. It was like one of those ensembles.
Yeah,
Right.
Because we traveled to like Jamaica, Michigan,
Y'all went
Salt
to the
Lake
rich
City.
school, huh?
Dang,
No,
that's dope.
Castlemont
See,
High School was in the hood, like deep East Oakland.
where was you getting all this money from? I did that in high school. They didn't send me out of the country,
We went
man.
to the zoo.
No, listen.
We didn't
William Land.
No, listen. The Castleers were so world renowned that the director Phil Reeder had he had major people put money into the choir, for trips and things like that. And then we did fundraiser concerts and things like that. And so
So you raise money for these trips.
yeah, man, and it was awesome, man. We got to see, meet the Prime Minister of Jamaica when we went there, and
nice.
it's kind of like the White House type thing, but the
Yeah.
Black House,
Yeah.
Jamaica style. But it was an awesome experience. So
Was that
after
the first time you tore up some jerk chicken?
man, some
ginger
curry
beer?
man, curry goat had goat ice cream.
Did you smoke some goat ice cream?
Goat ice cream.
I would say, did you
Man,
smoke?
no,
But
we did
damn.
not smoke. We were in high school.
Hey, Big Omeezy tapping in. He said he went to E. Morris Cox.
Who is that?
Big Omeezy.
Big Omeezy? I don't know who Big Omeezy is, but I'm sure if I see his face, I'd be like, "What's happening?"
Yeah, you would probably recognize him.
Indeed.
Shout out to Big Old Measy.
What up,
Big
OG?
Omeezy,
Shout
what's
out.
happening?
Big
Yeah,
ol'
E. Morris Cox. We had it's a trip though. So E. Morris Cox Elementary School, there were some brothers, Michael and Marvin Cox. They just happened to have the last name of the school, and Michael and Marvin Cox, the whole Cox family could beat up everybody.
They got a school named after him. Shit. Fuck the prison.
I
Man,
know, right?
man, they could beat up everybody. The cool thing about it, me and Marvin Cox were partners, so I never had to worry about nothing. Man.
Okay, so
So we're going back to how it all
yeah,
started.
yeah. What year did
okay.
you join the Tonys?
1998.
98.
1998.
And Raphael left in what?
96.
96.
96.
And so how did? Who we got? Uh-oh.
Shit, I hear music.
Uh-oh. Can we get a little vocals?
What's up, Burst? Oh, y'all trying to get me? No, I ain't about to sing right now. Y'all got me off this Jack. I'm off this Jameson. I might start getting it in a minute. Now.
So 98 you joined the Tony. How did that come about? Did you just
Okay, so to kind of backtrack and then speed it up, when the Tonys first went out on tour, I went out there as the stylist. I was doing wardrobe, cutting hair, because I was always known as the singing barber in Oakland. Cut everybody, all the Warriors, all the Raiders, and all that kind of stuff like that. So went on tour with them on their first big tour, carrying equipment and doing all that kind of stuff. So I was there at the beginning. So then when Raphael left in '96 after the last studio album, the group was just shut down. They weren't doing anything. So one day I went by the studio, Dwayne's studio, just kind of dropped in on him. And he was in there working on some music, and he was like, "Hey man, you feel like singing some background vocals on something?" So I was like, "Yeah, it's all good." So did the studio session, and then afterwards he was like, "Man, I forgot how you and my brother got the same kind of vibe and tone." And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, that's what's up." So I was like, "So what's up with the group?" I was like, "Man, y'all haven't been doing any shows?" He said, "Nah, not since my brother left, so it's been all bad." So I was like, "Well, if you want to start doing shows,
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Shoot your shot.
I can handle that." He was like, "You know the songs?" And I was like, "Dwayne, come on, bruh."
Man, I know all the songs.
Yeah, so he was like, right. So after that, I left. I said, "Man, I gotta go because I got some things to do." So I left. Maybe about 2 or 3 days later, he called me and said, "Hey, man, I just got a call to do this show. It's a summer jam at Manteca Water Slides." And there was a bunch of groups out there. And so he was like, "You think you can handle it?" I said, "Man, let's go." So we called on a rehearsal, got it all tight, did the show first show was in front of like 10,000 people.
Wow.
We rocked it.
That was in 98.
That was in 98, summer of 98. Then right after that. Now the trip part about that is I was working for this water company, delivering bottled water. So we were delivering bottled water at the Greek Theater in Berkeley. And so I had to walk across the stage to go downstairs to take all the water that I had on the dolly. But I stopped in the middle of the stage and was like looking out and was like, "Man, I gotta play the Greek one day." Well, right after the show we did in Manteca, we got a call to do a show with Rick James, Roger Troutman, and Zapp. It was the last show that Roger Troutman did before he passed. And we opened up. It was the Tonys, Roger Troutman and Zapp, and Rick James at the Greek.
Wow.
That was like the second or third show.
Wow.
And then after that, we just started rocking and rolling.
That's dope. So you gonna give a little something out for the ladies listening, including your wife? She's probably listening too, right?
Yeah, she's already on there. You can. It's like.
You gonna give her a little bit of vocals before that Jameson kick in.
Yeah, see, perfect fit for Toni, lead vocals right there.
Well,
Can I
you
get a
know,
question? Can I get a question?
yeah, for sure.
Did you have a major role in like writing any of the songs, like after the fact, or was it all just you knew the records and was?
But you came in after the last album was
Yeah,
already done,
I
right?
came in, but you know, Dwayne would call me in, and I would do some session work on some of the songs, like background vocals and things like that. But I didn't. Actually, I never got credit for it.
Talk about it.
And and this is the absolute
Talk about it.
honest, the goodness truth. So Tim Riley, when he had created the music for Southern California, we were all in LA, and he presented it to everybody. We were at the Doofy Suites. No, the Franklin Plaza Suites. So he's like, hey, check this new joint I did. So he plays what is now Southern California. So we all sitting at the table like, ooh, that's nice. So it was me, Tim, Raphael, and was Carl there? No, Carl wasn't there, Dwayne, and somebody else was there. And we had a writing session right then. So we were all like pitching in ideas, singing along and everything. But yeah, I never got no credit for that, though.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that might be a good thing because I lived in Southern California and it does rain.
Man, it rains all day. right.
Yeah.
So
me and you was the shit though. That was my. I think that was my first Tony jam that I really was. It was the Boys in the Hood. He was getting busy. Cuba Gooding was about to get it. You know what I mean? I was watching that shit at the Boys in the Hood when it came out at the State Theater. And I was like, damn, well, everybody was getting shot across the country at all the other theaters. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, Tony's had like a lot of hits. Like
man,
Little
they had
Walter,
major hits,
Anniversary,
man.
Feels
Damn,
Good. Like,
What's your favorite?
Let's Get Down with DJ Quick. There's so many. So many.
If you
Man,
got
the cats really put it together. You know, the first two cats that brought it all together was Thomas McElroy and Denzel Foster. They produced Little Walter, the first album, and that whole thing, and then the Tonys kind of did one or two songs towards the end of the album project that they did totally on their own, which set them up to do the rest of the albums totally by themselves and things like that. The record company knew that they could do it, so the brothers was putting it together real nice. It was a real collective effort from Carl Wheeler, Elijah Baker, Antron Hill, to Raphael, Dwayne, and Tim. So, and everybody, you know, went to church and school together. And
was Raphael like writing a lot of the stuff or most of the stuff?
Everybody was. It was a collective effort. But Raphael, you know, he definitely spearheaded a lot of it. But it was a collective effort. And Carl Wheeler, he's now Frankie Beverly and Maze's musical director. Well, actually, he's been there for some years. The cats can write, man.
Yeah, I mean, I followed Raphael even when he went on his solo tip. Like, I thought that was the shit too.
Yeah.
And then he did like Lucy Pearl, like for a minute, right?
Yeah, did Lucy Pearl with Don Robinson and Ali Hashid Muhammad.
Hey, so this is like I don't know if you've answered this already, but Tony. None of you guys are named Tony, right? I mean, what was
not a one?
Not a one.
Didn't it start off as like a joke or something?
It was a joke. It was like one of the partners used to always have his hair real slick. And, you know, and always used to be dressed real tight. So they'd be like, "Ooh, boy, you got your Tony on." You know, kind of like some Guido Sarducci, you know, some kind of Italian slick dude or something.
Like the way your voice sounds.
Right. So after doing a show, somebody came up to the group and was like, "Hey, man, you guys rock. What's the name of your group?" So it wasn't a name. It wasn't a name at the time. So Dwayne looked at everybody and was like, Tony. And everybody kind of started laughing, but at the same time. But then it was like, oh, wait a minute. That might work. And so it stuck. And that
started catching on with people, huh?
Can I ask, do you know, well, you should know, but how each one is spelled? Because if they spell Tony, I'd be like, fuck, what comes first, the I, the E, the Y?
I know the E is at the end.
Well, you know, it's a trip because most people say Tony Tone because it's Tony, Toni, Tone, but it has a hyphen.
Right.
I don't think nobody's ever.
But then
explained that.
even with the hyphen, it should be Tony, Toni.
Tony, yeah, Tony.
I still got Toni on my playlist today.
So
I know that's right.
This is rocking. I still got it on the playlist today.
We got a couple
Was
people
there
Tony.
any like songs that weren't hits though? Cause like I would put on a Toni album and just play it from A to Z.
the real trip part about it, there was like other songs that I thought we should perform that were like major hits, well, in my mind, but we never did. We kind of just stuck to the same old kind of format, same old kind of show, year after year, month after month, whatever.
That shit go though. Don't be saying it like that.
Man,
Chill out.
you know why I'm saying it like that? Because I felt like we should have been giving them so much more.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
I mean, that was a lot though, cause I mean, I was around a lot of groups back then, like SWV and Usher and all these people that Brian Morgan, everybody
right.
had me around, but they had hits, but it wasn't like I had Toni like rocking, like every song. It seemed like on the album was like, oh, we ain't gonna skip that. We ain't gonna skip that. We're gonna play that. There we go, right there.
Just the two.
And matter of fact, that right there is somebody watching right now just said that's their favorite song.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out to PRQT Boricua 1.
See her.
Don't worry about. Yeah, that was
Okay, there we go. I think you owe me some child support money.
Low key.
Okay, so, all right, so recently you decided to take a break from the Tonys. Is it a break or is it a?
Man, this shit is over.
It's over.
It's over.
Why you say it like that?
After 20 years, man, I got my boxing gloves in the car. If I happen to run up on somebody, I'm pulling them out the trunk of the vehicle, and I'm going to proceed to whoop somebody.
Man,
No, it's all good.
Because when I seen that Toni was performing at Thunder Valley recently, right?
Yeah.
And then when I had hit you and talked to you, like, man, I'm done with the Tonys. I was like, I ain't going to Thunder Valley to watch the show then, because without Raphael or Amar, there's no Toni in the middle of the Tonys.
Right, and then
You was in the middle, Tony?
No, I was the one on top.
He was the lead.
I wasn't in
He
the
was the
middle.
lead. I mean, who is?
He was the
who's
wide,
gonna
the
fill
wide.
those
He was the
shoes?
wide.
I was the wide. I was the wide.
Because you hit it right on the point where Raphael like left off. It was like
Man,
a lot of
and
people
then skip
didn't
a
even
beat.
realize.
At all, and the trip part about it, I would get off the stage sometimes and people would be like, Raphael, man, can you take a picture with my girl? Or, Raphael. Man, look, one time we were in Houston, and it was a small club setting. This girl came and stood right in front of the stage, and she was like, Raphael. And I'm steadily trying to sing like, okay, won't you sit your ass down? So she was like, Raphael. So finally, after the song was over, I said, hold up, y'all. I got to ease baby burden. I was like, I'm not Raphael. I'm Amar Khalil, baby. So everybody in there started laughing, but then a bunch of people were like, that ain't Raphael. So, then finally she went and sat her ass down.
So you don't sound like a pimp.
But
I know,
if you don't
right?
sit your ass down, but
I mean,
But
who's
no.
gonna fill those shoes though? Like without you and without Raphael, like
man, I don't want to sound like a hater or nothing like that, but
nobody's gonna fill them shoes.
Talk about
I'll
them.
say it.
those cats are clowns.
I ain't gonna say it. They gonna need to do like the Jabberwocky thing pretty soon, because my boys
Wear a
and the
mask?
Jabberwockies, they throw the mask on. You don't even know if it's really them on stage
Right.
now.
Right.
Like-
It's it ought to be just called something featuring Dwayne Wiggins at this point, because Tim left the group.
Oh really?
Yeah, Tim was like, dude, if you're not doing it, I'm not doing it.
So it
And
should
so-
just be
and
Dwayne.
So it's just Dwayne.
Dwayne.
It's just Dwayne.
How many ways
Dwayne.
How many ways can you spell Dwayne?
There are 3 ways you spell Dwayne. Actually.
But you
Oh,
did-
for real?
You
Okay.
guys had like some issues too, though, right? Because Dwayne have like rights and stuff like that to the Tonys and
Yeah, he basically
he was holding back some progress, huh?
it was his group at the end of the day after it was all said and done, and he did it the way he wanted to do it. and what does that say, Dwayne?
And the riff-raff.
Dwayne and the,
She must have been at the last show. The girl on top said chopped liver.
Oh, I was so disappointed in the belly.
Oh, see? They need to pay Amar some more money to get back.
Oh God! You know, it's funny though because
They
look,
could be doing shows
God
at the
bless
state
them,
fair in a
you know,
minute.
Listen. Honestly, all jokes aside, I'm being funny and all that kind of stuff. I actually wish them cats the best. You know, do what you do because I'm gonna continue doing what I'm about to do, and I got some things in the works. But a lot of folks was hitting me at that Thunder Valley concert, DMing me like, "What's this on stage?
Give me backstage.
Like, what's this on
Who
stage?
is this on stage?
You know, so
Dwayne got his guitar. That's it.
that's it. So they got to work it out. So however way they gonna work it out, let them work it out.
Wow.
Like the
I mean,
Temptations.
we wish the best
Man,
for
like
Dwayne.
the
and-
Temptations.
There are
you know,
100
but
temptations.
the five
I hate the
heartbeats.
fact that you guys had to break up like that and not continue.
Yeah, I wasn't
'cause-
really trying to bounce, but there were some things that needed to be said, and I said it. And either you were going to receive it, or you weren't going to receive it. And
Wow, she said circus clowns at Thunder Valley.
and
Do what you gotta do.
Dwayne decided to not receive it and was like, basically after I said what I said, he hit me back, and with lawyers and everybody else in the email and everything, and saying, I don't need your services anymore. I'm good. Don't use the Tony's name. Don't do this, and don't do that. And I was like, so I hit him back in that same email and said, man, one love. It's been a blessing rocking on these stages with y'all for the last 20 years. And I wish y'all nothing but the best. And man, one love and God bless, man. And
Man,
I'm
that's
out.
what I like about you, Amar, because you always keep positive, man.
Man, I just
You
got to
keep it moving. So let's talk about something positive, like your
Yes,
solo
sir.
project now.
Yes, sir.
The Amar project. What
Man,
What is
yeah.
it? Tell us about this, because you
Titles?
had a gospel album going on, right? But now you're
I
doing
did.
an R&B album.
I did. So back in 2005, 2006, I released a inspirational gospel project with Jamie Hawkins, son of the late great Bishop Walter Hawkins and Lady Tremaine Hawkins. So his name is Jamie Hawkins, and we got in the lab and worked it out. And what is somebody saying? Okay, yeah.
Dwayne,
Dwayne tripping.
Right. So I put out the gospel project, and it did very well. And after that, I kind of went back on the back burner because I was thinking that the Tonys was going to do another project, but they didn't. So as I kept bringing it up and talking about it, like, man, when are we going to get in the lab and do something? It never manifested itself. So coming out of 2017, I was like, you know what? I got to make something happen, and I got to do me. So I called Jamie back up, and I was like, yo, let's get in the lab, but I want to work on an R&B project. So Jamie was like, let me think about it, because he was really getting into his pastoring thing. So he wanted to make sure he was in the right mindset. So he finally called me and said, yo, let's make it happen. So we got in the studio, and we worked on the first single called By My Side. Shot a video to it, dropped it at the end of the year. It's doing well. It's being received very well over in Germany, Nigeria, London.
All over the world.
Yeah,
huh?
man. And Sirius XM just picked it up, and they're starting to play it on one of their specialty shows on Sundays to try to see what the listeners feel about it.
Okay. Shout out to Sirius XM.
Yeah, man. And
We need our
Pandora.
show on
Pick
there.
us up.
and so Pandora just sent me an email saying it's going through its review process and everything. They'll give me an update when it's going to land and drop in Pandora Radio. So, man, I'm rocking and rolling. So we're in the lab working on the project, and it's coming out nice. I did a remake of something that everybody knows. It's going to be hot. Took something from the late 70s, early 80s, and I'm bringing that back. And got to shoot a nice video to that. I'm thinking of something with skating and all of that.
You ain't gonna tell us the name of the song?
No, because then somebody else might try to run in the lab and go
I
and
got
go and do it.
When can we expect this EP to come out?
I'm hoping. I was trying to do it by my birthday, October 8th, but
Okay.
between October and December.
Okay, so in the fall,
Indeed.
it'll be ready
That's
for
the
Christmas.
Winter. That's the winter or the fall?
That's the
That's the fall.
All right.
That's the
You
fall.
know, pick
That's-
it up for Christmas for your kids and
My
stuff.
birthday is
you know what I
Christmas
mean?
Eve,
and,
so
and
you
your
know.
girl.
Oh, is
New
it?
heat.
No heat. Can't wait. She said.
Yes, sir. That new heat.
Solo project.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
And you're doing this fitness and style thing.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? It's a television show. What is it? Is it a?
Okay. Fitness and style is a lifestyle show.
Cause he got this jacket on right now, but y'all don't know how ripped this fool is.
That
Yeah.
shit is
Yeah.
extra
Yeah.
medium.
Man, I got that medium on, man.
Every time I see this fool on Instagram, he doing push-ups or pull-ups or lifting weights or something like, don't got no excuses to not be ripped.
Nobody got no excuses, man. Y'all funny. Yeah, but Fitness and Style is a lifestyle show that I created. So basically, it's not about me being Jack LaLanne, being on there showing everybody how to work out. What it is I'm showing your favorite sports figure, entertainer, singer, actor, actress. I'm showing the world what your favorite entertainer does to stay in shape.
So you're going and working out with them?
I'm going to work out with them. So I did a couple pilot episodes. So I did one with like Cindy from In Vogue. So basically, I go in and we talk about what she does to stay in shape. So she may say, I like jump roping. Mm-hmm. So we're going to show her on film jump roping, and then I'll join in and do some stuff. And I'll show her maybe a different variation to the workout. And then we talk about her nutrition. And then after she gives us her whole nutrition thing, then we talk about her personal style, because the show is called Fitness and Style. So when you're not on stage and doing what you do, what's your personal style like? What you like to rock? So she may say, man, I like to put on my red bottoms, yada, 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 this, and that. And this is how I rock. So then we show that. And so now we got the fitness, nutrition, we got a personal style, and that's the show.
And you got the music.
And
What
we got,
That's
what
what's
is
up.
Janet Jackson doing? Because she can fall the fuck off 1 month and then be back like she ain't never left. So what the f- is Janet Jackson doing?
man, you just got to get off them you just got to get off them carbs.
She be eating them animal graham crackers and shit, and she be looking like bad.
Yeah.
But she bad.
So I know that you're not doing. You said it. I'm done with the Tonys at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about doing like a Raphael Sadiq in you type of joint?
Well,
That could be fire.
Raphael and I, we've been kind of going back and forth a little bit. So we'll see. I'll just say we'll see. We've talked about doing some music and things like that.
Cause the two of y'all together, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be crazy.
You should
Flame.
be here.
Yeah. Y'all should be here. for real.
Right. It would. But, we'll see. As the wife, she just said, "Mum's the word."
She
funny.
the word.
She
What's
funny.
up to the wifey?
But you never know. I'm not waiting on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happens, a beautiful thing. And if it doesn't,
All right, I got a beautiful thing, man. Can I jam you up with my specialist questions?
yeah. what's
Don't
that?
even stop to think about it either, man. Just off
Okay.
the cuff. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean T or Billy Banks?
Shanti, man.
Okay.
The wife be getting up in the morning doing insanity, man. She be going for it.
Okay. Bobby Brown or Johnny Gill?
Bobby Brown or Johnny Gill? Bobby Brown.
Okay, shit. Okay, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Okay.
Waffles.
Light or dark drink?
Since I love J-Mo.
This motherfucker talk like a pimp, y'all. God damn. Okay. Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society?
Boys in the Hood.
All right, this is my last one. Oakland or Wakanda?
They are one and the same.
All right, we are running out of time. We appreciate you, Amar, for joining us on the Life of Leisure show today, man. You are my brother, and you will
Yes, sir.
continue to be.
Always.
Always. And we're gonna look out for your solo projects coming up.
Man, indeed. Yeah.
Give it up.
Keep us posted, man. Where can
Man.
people find you on social media?
Man, I am at only one. That's only then the number one, Amar Khalil, AmarKhalil. That's at Twitter and Instagram. Facebook, just regular Amar Khalil. And phone number is 777-9311.
I don't think your wife like that one.
I believe you too. Just the way he said it. Hey, bitch, you need to call me at 777-311.
All right, we out of here. We appreciate you being here. We'll be back at 8:30 tonight.
8:30.
Jiu-Jitsu fighter Louis Moreno. Tap in or tap out.